the Monty ban, APAC obviously commonly known for running the shields. It is a prominent operator picked on Skyscraper. It's very easy to access the building. That's probably the hardest part, actually, is getting into the building. So the Monty is a big activator into walking in the building, getting that first step, getting that info, and info was the biggest issue for DPlus.
And importantly for Wolves, through that attacking ban phase, you talk about getting in the building, sometimes what we'll see is actually like a thermite ban or a hard breaching ban to make opening that geisha wall a lot harder. So Wolves able to have that hard breach. Attacking on Skyscraper is already rough, but having all of your hard breaching options available, it's a little bit more palatable. Not
to just mention that, but they also ended up banning the Cade to make it that much easier. Cade is sometimes more optimal on Skyscraper than Bandit itself because you can throw it from a distance, especially in the geisha room. It's very easy to throw it from black box at a distance. The timing is really weird because you can't really K-trick too many sites on too many maps, but this is one map where Cade is better than Mute and Bandit.
Thanks for some very interesting prospects here, especially with that mirror ban coming through. This is another one of her highlight maps, but let's be honest, which one isn't? You can kind of play Mira wherever the heck you want. We've seen strategies with her time and time again across every single map, and Skyscraper definitely one of those. We saw some interesting ones, I think, yesterday, Fox, where we had some crazy openings from GK across the entire map, just opening things up to the mirror windows, but won't have access to that here for DPlus Kia.
Take note of what Woogieman is doing. He is barricading all the doors over by office side. He's barricading all the doors by black side, by T. Those doors are pivotal to stopping a late round roam or lurk. They have the mirrors for one side, obviously for a direct take, and then those barricades, you may think, it's a barricade, you could just shoot it down.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But having those closed is actually so annoying as a player because sometimes you have to go through 2, 3 doors, and when you're shooting that many bullets or punching that many holes in the barricades, it gives away your position, and now you've lost the element of surprise.
Oh, absolutely. You sound like the Incredible Hulk coming through. You're smashing every window, door, and anything you can get your hands on. And like you said, it makes, even to where like a character like Nook, right? You're not allowed to sneak through anything anymore. You have to deal with this damn barricade. But unfortunately for Wolves, it seems like they really want to try and set a focal point here directly onto the site.
Fast breaching from Wolves all over the map, opening up everything. P4 over on the back Lotus bar side. He opened it up, coded so close to each other. Do they have any idea? The green push is going to come in. Harper's going to go down.
Oh my.
P4 in the site.
He just made his way in, but there's a very quick trade coded. They might not have known he was there. He's able to make it a far more easier situation for DPlus Kia to handle, but a familiar stat line. 4v3 for Wolves. They always drop 1, but they so often gain 2 in response. Bibu, he did the fragging very much on Chalet, but now planning the bomb. There's no response from DPlus Kia. Deadshot finishes off Woogieman. No response from the Azami. Barely any from DPlus Kia either. Yas has been inside a drum for about 8,000 years at this point. But there's simply no way he can make it back unless he wins the fight with that player on the balcony. Deadshot makes sure that's not even an issue, not even something that Wolves need to worry about. As Fresh, if you were worried, my friend, that this might be a quick game because Wolves want a quick Skyscraper attack, well, while Soldier might find one, this seems to be the round done and dusted for Wolves, no matter what Soldier can do.
Game plan in hand.
We gotta let him do it every time.
I love it. He kind of looks like a bobblehead a little bit, like every round is shaking his head up and down.
I think we could start selling some Bibu bobbleheads. I would buy one, probably the first one in line.
Ubisoft, get on it.
Game plan in hand, though. All the walls open, the critical walls open. Top red wall uncontested, got it open. Office wall, one wall was soft, ashed open. They got P4 immediately set up over by the Lotus bar, ready to walk in. Look at this push. As soon as the wall got open, they didn't expect him to walk in. Got the first pick, got the trade. That's the opening into the site. Mowgli felt like he was on that green window for the whole round. He ended up taking down... No, he actually did not take down Yas, but he kept Yas at bay for a lot of the round, and it left Soldier in a 1-on-3 alone. They didn't have an answer for the plant either. A lot of times, when you're setting up a defense, you have to anticipate losing your site player. What's your response to get back into the site? It didn't look like DPlus have one. They didn't have a C4 from below. And again, they lack the information on what Wolves is doing. They don't have a response for it either.
Yeah, and once again, This time around, though, obviously, it's going to be kind of a different thing. DPlus Kia aren't going to have the Valkyrie, but she's not banned out. So no info game coming in here. And that pacing from Wolves was so incredible, Fox. It discombobulated the entire play. They get that big kill moment there. Yas has to try and respond from Drum. It's just not something that they really had anything in the cards for.
I can't even spell discombobulated.
Oh, my sweet summer champ. We'll 2 to you after the game. But one thing I do want to note real quick, because we have the Dokkaebi in play, but it's not P4 playing her. Instead, it's Bibu, but P4's put himself on the Nook. He's been the lurker so far for Wolves, and I think they're really leaning into it now with that op placement.
We have seen Mowgli be the confident entry for Wolves, but P4 has built his confidence up in the last map, and it looks like in his play calls, in his adaptations, he's putting himself on that first man in. He has a good understanding of exactly where DPlus players are going to be. Oh,
just smoked.
Mowgli's going to take down Harper. And that's the first pick jumping in. A little bit of tag damage. He's going to quickly jump out the map, slow down, take their time, figure out their next steps.
We're back to that reset. We talked about it earlier, and it's one of the key things in Rainbow Six Siege. When you get these moments like this, you get a Harper, you get a pick, you're able to reassess and reinsert. Maybe this logic bomb, a telltale sign, but it's more than likely just them trying to gather info game. But P4, nice little layer working in here from Pantry.
Just when they bring the Echo for that information, they're just not playing off of it too well. It's getting shot, and now they're losing that. Now you have Echo for no reason. If you're losing the Echoes that fast, you're losing your info.
You're losing Black Stairs control too. Mowgli able to push up. There's no rotate, so it's not complete control. But Wolves have found a beachhead on the second floor now. They need to work around it. They still haven't opened up the geisha wall, so there is still plenty of work to do, but Wolves have already made great progress, and Mowgli definitely seems to be the guy leading the way.
Launching drone.
Well, here now for Wolves, a minute remains, and they got that geisha wall open. They just had to address the rest of the map and make sure that things were safe for them to try and get into these pivotal positions. Mowgli with a beautiful nade, and that's what that info matrix is for. They know that player is standing up top in karaoke, and he's dead to rights to the grenade.
Really taking their time to clear out the information. That's the second yokai down. Not only for that, but they ended up getting a nade pick, and now they have full control of exactly what they need. They're going to commence into the site. Mowgli's going to get one. He's going to get taken down swiftly by Coded. A 2v4. It's anybody's game, but Echo's going to go down. Wookie's going to go. But Coded's going to get one in a 1v3. Swiftly traded out by Deadshot.
Fox, I had to correct you there. That was not anybody's game. That was Wolves' game.
I feel like when
the pack was circling, man. They saw prey.
I just got into that play-by-play. I had to keep the element alive. I had to keep like the energy, the potential, you know?
Honestly, I mean, I respect it. I respect the chops. I respect the vision. But unfortunately for DPlus Kia, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of vision on these defenses. It's a lot of stagnant play. And listen, I get it. Skyscraper's not a map where you need to go for these crazy flanks, right? Not a map where you need to go for these super aggressive plays. You have two of the best choke points on the map in Drum and Shrine. If you can just keep them intact, a lot of the times you can win the round. But for DPlus Kia, I mean, Wolves seem to be given so much for free. They're just staying in these positions, waiting for Wolves to push them. Yeah, the perfect just in a vacuum moment, that initial peek we saw, right? Mowgli is just standing on the window, and the guy just swings him from front desk. That's a very simple coin flip gunfight, but Mowgli has been so on. So kind of a difficult moment there for DPlus Kia as they're trying to use those mechanics to pull it back across the line.
I love that early round activity from Wolves too. Spent the whole start of the game just getting in below. P4 and Mowgli trying to find those roamers. Once they shut down the roamers downstairs, they stopped. They stopped, and that's been the common theme for Wolves. They stop, they open up the walls, they gather the next steps, they get drones in the position. Just to make things better, they also got a beautiful nade before executing into the site. Once they have everything they need, they go for it. DPlus needs to understand that. They need to stop the bleeding while they can. Don't let their roamers get picked. And then when Wolves is setting up in that position, they have to go and try to disrupt that setup.
Yeah, kind of a detriment to their own health right now. Man. And once again, Mowgli from a window. Somebody hears the window open, and they cannot stop themselves, Fox.
No, they were hemorrhaging so hard right now.
Mowgli's laughing, guys. He was literally laughing after that kill. Wolves just don't care. I mean, Mowgli had a career game against M80 yesterday, a complete rebuild for his confidence, and 5-1 right now might not seem like an insane stat line, but for Wolves, the win yesterday, and certainly the match today, the work that has already done to feel that they still have a chance in this tournament its impact cannot be overstated. 5v3 again established for Wolves, 2 rounds in a row.
Everything's just working on all cylinders for Wolves. If DPlus want to be able to get a leg back in this game, they need a pivotal stop, not just to win the round, but to win the momentum. It looks like they're not playing off of each other. They're not making plays together to find that opening, to find that leg up. We need the energy out of them that they are so very lacking.
Very stressful, very strainful. P4, a moment here now. DPlus Kia.
Oh!
They'll open the gates, and Coded will get another one. Wolves try and power their way in, but DPlus Kia finally slam the door shut. Woogieman with some damage dealt to him, Harper as well, and some times for Wolves to try and recreate the wheel here, especially with Mowgli alive. Anything is possible.
Oh, he just sees him a little bit. He saw the little sliver of his head, but too far around the corner. They've got the intel. He's trying to fight. He does! You gotta be kidding me, man. That's the power of intel in Rainbow Six. DPlus Kia fought so hard. They clawed back that advantage thanks to Woogieman, thanks to Coded, and now suddenly it's been erased. Wolves have the leg up on them in terms of HP as well, and Shink has made his way onto house stairs, and look at this slow rotation. Mowgli crouch walking on the balcony to add a new dimension to Wolves' push, but Coded's watching. He should be able to get this, an easy micro flick. But this is Shink on the 1v2. There's a Kiba in his way, but he's got 30 seconds to work with.
Low health on both of these targets too, so most definitely doable, but would still be a highlight reel moment here for the Wolves. They've barely given up anything in this series so far, but DPlus Kia could finally find a round on this defense that they so desperately looked for. Woogieman especially, a huge star player here on this defense.
That was a nice crossfire at the end there. That's what we want to see at a DPlus. The teamwork, the communication to put themselves, set themselves up. We didn't just want a close round. We need a definite momentum changer in DPlus's favor, especially on the defense. Skyscraper is one of those maps where it's very defender-sided. You need to be able to get more than just 3. When you go 3-3 as an attack, you've definitely felt like you've done your job. The ideal goal is for a 4-2 split. They've already given Wolves their 2. They only got 1.
And that's potentially one of those rounds, as you said, that the momentum needed to come back. But a DPlus Kia lose, I mean, 0-3 on Skyscraper defense. You got to call attack timeout. Houndbird's probably got to get in the server and say, all right, guys, let's calm down. The game's not over. But it's one of those moments that if Wolves, even if it was a 2v3, if they clutch that, the mental can get chalked so quickly. So DPlus Kia getting that round, obviously it's important for the in-game ramifications. But for the out-of-game ramifications, what the players are feeling, that was instrumental of a victory to get.
The last time we saw DPlus Kia defend T Karaoke, Wolves spent their whole first minute finding the roamers, isolating those picks. DPlus Kia looking to extend over onto the house side instead of down below into the first floor, changing it up. Wolves in suit will obviously be spawning over by the house side as well, because it looks like Wolves' game plan is to isolate those roamers. So well-placed drone placement to understand where DPlus Kia's players are. And now they're setting up to potentially get their first leg in through the door over by house side.
This is a standard line here on Skyscraper. Trying to extend yourself across, right? Delay things out. Force Wolves onto bad timing, but you can see Mowgli, the gears are already turning. That logic bomb out. He hears Soldier on the other end of this, and these gunfights are going to mean a lot.
Oh, but there's a shotgun just around the corner. Mowgli still wins it, but the trade is true. 2 shotguns are better than 1, but only 1 will eventually make it out. Deadshot looking for the trade, but the defenders have backed off. He only works his way into Exhibition and Office. P42 has worked up the house stairs. The nade hits Harper in the face, but it's cooked a little too less, and he's able to retreat further back into Shrine.
Mowgli didn't go down for nothing. They got full house control, the rest of Wolves setting up, and now this is where we're going to see them slow down, set their drone up, gather the info. DPlus is still in a good position. They have drum control and shrine control. Not a lot of verticality out of Wolves so far. DPlus will have to stop their push every time Wolves gets into a groove where they get into this position, they gather the info. They want you to stay still. They want you to do nothing because they are setting up for the attack. The adaptation is on its way. How will DPlus try to manage to move? Will they be able to read into this without any info for them?
And we're going to move Bibu across over to Karaoke. He's going to get a drone up top and start checking things out. Solid positioning here for this drone. Gonna be able to find the bandit here inside of Geisha. Shinka still has to try and deal with this wall as well, and that's gonna be the last EMP out of Bibu. So hope that it hits it. Smart there for the EUL fans at home. But for all intents and purposes, DPlus Kia have also done their job, Fox. They've been able to delay time. They still have control of this central hallway, but if Shinka hits a shot, my God, he's gonna open up the floodgates now. Woogieman responds in kind, but there's still time for Wolves to make this happen.
And P4 just immediately takes control of Drum. Him and Shinka doing the most, but Yas catches him with his guard down. A 1v1 now, and Shinka on lower HP. Wolves are normally in more comfortable advantages than this, but Shinka's got to find one kill to get Wolves their third attack. Flashbang goes out, he spots him, he gets the kill as Harper's caught sprinting. Wolves are starting to reach critical mass as 3 skyscraper attacks. That's dangerous territory for DPlus Kia.
As a great man once said, why are you running? Why is Harper running there? He actually got hit with the flashbang. I don't know if you guys saw his HP, but he took the flashbang straight to the chin.
Honestly,
It's twice in one round.
you gotta respect that a little bit.
Oh,
he
yeah.
just tanks it in the face.
Oh, yeah.
A little uncooked nade action and a stun all meeting their opponents before they go off in that round. And speaking of going off, DPlus Kia on the timeout. Probably the perfect time to call it. As Fox said, this is a split that you don't want, guys. Skyscraper is a heavily defender-sided map. We see 4-2s, we see 5-1s. I mean, when you're staring down the barrel of 3 offensive rounds from your opponent, you're looking at a huge risk.
Each round after this is just the shovel hitting the dirt, digging the grave a little more, making it a little more difficult to climb back out. The attacks, we go over it so often. It's so difficult to get those attacks round. That round from Wolves, though, was not difficult at all. They took exactly what they needed. In trade for Mowgli, 1v1 trade, they have exactly what they need. And then while they gather that info, the whole team adapts. They leave P4 in the position that they've grabbed. They completely rotate to the other side of the map, pushing in through Shine. Shinka, the entry on the Thermite.
Yeah,
Just ridiculous.
Thank you. That was the moment for me right there.
This is also the second time, by the way, DPlus Kia have taken a tactical timeout down 3-1 on their defenses. But think about it this way. They did that on Chalet when it was their map pick, but defense is still not one of the, the easiest sides on Chalet to win, right? Attack is typically favored. This is a much different situation. On the defenses, DPlus Kia take the same tactical time the same round.
Guys.
I just look
Do you
back
see
at
where
the
we
screen.
are?
What? Oh,
Fox.
no.
This isn't the worst sight. I mean,
Shut up.
obviously, DPlus is trying to throw something at the ceiling and make it stick. They obviously need something pivotal that gets that momentum back. This game is a momentum-based game. Wolves every round, even when it's a light round, Bebo is screaming. He's screaming. He's shaking his head. I don't think I've seen DPlus get hyped once.
That's true. I mean, this is definitely one of the quieter teams. They mentioned it on the desk. They come into the arena, they T-hunt for like 30, 45 minutes, and they say, I'm excited. See, partying right there. They get excited. They say, all right, let's play our game, whatever. But they're not very excitable. But if this is the way they try to regain the momentum, Sam, and if it works, we'll certainly be singing their praises.
Yeah, most definitely, especially on a site like this. A lot of verticality going to be coming into this, and that's why you see DPlus with the dedicated bodies upstairs.
We haven't seen that much adaptability from DPlus, but on Wolves' end, they're bringing the forest. They're dealing with the castles. They're dealing with the Azamis. The Mute Jammers aren't stopping the forests at all. Wolves is completely clearing all of the objectives that DPlus are putting in Wolves' way. And again, I hate to harp on this fact, Harper on this fact. But again, I would love to see an info operator of some sort for DPlus for those late rounds.
Are you considering the 2 bulletproofs?
I am considering them, but they're getting cleared so often. Info operator doesn't necessarily just mean cameras, but a Valk would be great here. A Solus would be great here. They keep running traps, and it hasn't really stumped Wolves so far. They've been shooting the Kapkans. They've been hitting 1 or 2 Legions, but that isn't a game-changing operator.
Soldier, talk about game-changing. He's holding down this upstairs position with those Kiba barriers, prolonging how long he can hold the office position. Mowgli's entry also through the delivery hall, being stifled a little bit down on that first floor. Wolves aren't finding the same early success that they have in the past, and it's resulting in likely what could be one of the most precarious positions they've been in, but I hated to speak the opposite into existence. Deadshot has now found Woogieman, and P4 has found his way into the bomb site. There's no one from DPlus Kia even looking at this man.
Oh, key moment here. Coded, what a shot onto Mowgli. He'll take him down, and that frag grenade that was intended for one of his teammates, I believe over in delivery, is going to end up keeping him alive. Soldier with a nice moment there, but Deadshot once again, when they need him most, he shows up to the party, and he'll take out 2 in this round.
It looks like Wolves knows that they're not going to be able to get a foot in this leg. Harper's going to take out Bibu from top floor. Deadshot following suit from Coded. The aggression from DPlus not letting up even in the 3-on-3. Shinka was trying to rotate to his teammate, tried him to get a little bit more of a positioning advantage, maybe drop the hatch, but now he's a man on a mission, alone. He's gonna get the first one to start this push.
Well, hold on. There's 2 1v1s here. It is a little low on time, but they have intel on him that BP does spot Shinka's position, and the rest of the DPlus key defenders retreat. And gentlemen, my friends, can you believe it?
Wait,
why is no one pushing him?
Okay. Oh man, Fox and I were both about to have a heart attack.
I'm just like, I'm narrating over the round. I'm like, guys, they're winning master bedroom. I'm not even looking at the screen. And then I'm like, why isn't the round ended?
Coded just started shooting his, he emptied his mag into the wall. And they just assumed that he was gonna get off the plan or the round was over, but no one was actually pushing the guy planning. Got scary for a little bit.
They got the round.
They did get the round.
On Master Bedroom Office too. You talked about just throwing something and seeing if it sticks, and I feel like that was the most we've seen Wolves really stumped at how to clear. I mean, even when you had, say, that karaoke and T round where it was, Shinka needed to get that kill behind Drum to really open it up, at least there, they had an idea and they were moving, right? Wolves felt very stagnant.
You guys laughed at the site choice, but I've seen that site choice before. It is one of those uncommon ones. If you have the aggression that DPlus clearly had in that round, and you're constantly moving around it, it's very difficult to get a good bearing of where you need to push, what the hold is like, because you don't see it so often.
Yeah. I'm really happy you said that, actually, because I feel like they looked at that top floor and they're like, I don't want to mess with this. Let's just try and mess with the site directly and see if we can get some big picks.
Yeah, Wolves opened up the walls and they left lone Bibu up there as the Thatcher. And we talked about game-changing. The Azami was able to close off those holes. There wasn't really much that Bibu could do because he was on the Thatcher. The rest of the team from Wolves tried to hit the site, but you left DPlus in the power position, which is that top floor. We saw Shinka try to make an effort to get to his teammate, but it was too little too late at that point. He was left in a 1v3. And that was a very good round from DPlus on an unconventional bomb site.
Yeah, just goes to show you, if you hold the piece of the map that's so pivotal to a site like that, right, you can get it to go off without a hitch. And very well done there from DPlus Kia. We tried to laugh you out of the map, but you guys proved us wrong. Well, except for Fox, obviously. A little confidence over there on that end of the desk. So shout out to Foxy on that one. Round 6, though, on the docket now, and a desperate round here for DPlus Kia as they still really, really need this. A 4-2 split for the offensive side is nothing to shake a stick at.
Oh my, look at this pinch they've got set up right here. P4 and Mowgli on 2 different sides. They spotted Soldier down below, but he's got Coded tagging up Mowgli quite extensively. The nade flies in, but Coded just finds the one corner. It's the follow-up nade that gets it done. Soldier looking to trade off this position, though. Coded might fall, but now it's so many defenders all trying to hold this first floor, but Wolves are cutting them down one by one. A nice find from Harper. He might find a couple more. P4 just walks in, loses his life, and there's 2 more Wolves attackers who are looking to take the fight. They all funnel in one by one, and DPlus Kia's rotation down into Master Bedroom and Office might just win 2 rounds in a row from this exact same position. Bibu now on 1 HP, and in a very, very strange turn of events, DPlus Kia will end this half likely with a dominant victory, all in 2 rooms on the first floor.
The designated target of Harper not being found downstairs, and the collapse from DPlus to come to his rescue. He was able to hold his own, but we saw Coda drop the hatch. He was obviously in the Hell in the Cell. He was the first man to go, but then we saw the rest of his team drop down the hatch.
Bellingo!
Hit the 911 call, and the whole squad showed up right there. DPlus Kia, what an effort on that basement floor. They were not going to let that man go quietly into the night, and look what it did for him, Fox. So many kills, Bibu on low HP. Nothing really to do here, and they know exactly where this man is, especially after that goo mine. He has to try and get through this Kiva barrier. Still has one in Dragon, and the impact. Actual insult to injury here is a poor salt inside of this wound. Bibu just trying to elongate things, but he's dead to rights to Woogie Man. And they'll at least at a bare minimum be able to tie things up on this defensive side.
I'd like to mention that was the first round that DPlus ran the Valk, and it was almost their most significant win by far.
It was their second one.
Was it?
Yeah, but I can't blame you because the first time they ran it, nothing happened with Valkyrie. So I'm pretty sure she died as like the second person and we didn't get a cam. So
I guess what I meant was that was the first round where the Valkyrie seemed to be a play with the cameras. Yeah, the information that the cams were able to get allowed this, I don't want to say retake because they never dealt with Harper, but the collapse, the Valk cam is what inevitably led them to that information, and obviously Harper maintaining a big majority of that downstairs. Wolves was actually clearing out people around Harper. They never really got to him, and by that time, too little too late. But the 3-3 half, we talked about it.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Can you be happy with a 3-3 half? Wolves is obviously more comfortable on the defense.
I mean, that's the big question, right? It's a 3-3 half ultimately, but if we want to take away another positive for DPlus Kia, one criticism we had for those early Skyscraper defenses was it seemed like they weren't playing off each other. They weren't coordinating, weren't playing off each other's contacts, and it seemed like 5 players just holding their positions. But what we saw in that round was everyone trying to bail Harper and Soldier out of there, trying their best to make that situation work. And while it won't manifest the same on the attack, it seems that coordination started building over the course of that defensive half, culminated in round 6, and that's still a trait you can easily apply to the attack, especially on Skyscraper when you're trying to clear out power positions. If they can keep that coordination, this honestly could be a close game.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I've heard that before.
you're not lying.
I'm also loving the Solus out of Bibu so far. The Amaru is going to be someone I want to keep an eye on, though. An explosive round, if you have an explosive Amaru round, that could be enough to change the tides.
Especially when it comes to this site, there's a lot of different options you have, right? Go for something like Geisha play, but usually what we see is the setup for karaoke, right? They want to fly in that karaoke window, have some utility going abound, maybe, you know, pop Soldier's E1D, get those guns hot, and then while all that action's happening, Cody was able to fly in and be that kind of dagger for the cloak that DPlus Kia is setting up.
It looks like before Coda goes for that significant play, the rest of his team is going to grab a little bit more positioning over on the house side to potentially sell a fake to make it that much easier for Coded to be able to get into the site.
Woogieman wants that gunfight on house stairs, or at least he's cutting it off right now, stopping that rotation from the Solus down onto the first floor. We're still waiting to see what Coded has to offer. He's on the rappel, but Gara hooking is really out of the question on this particular position. He'll just hold the upside-down angle instead. This can be an equal nuisance on that top floor, but it's another very slow start for DPlus Kia. We know these slow attacks don't always bear fruit. We'll really need to see what the plan is for the late round.
Something we saw on the few attack rounds that DPlus had on Chalet was they spent so much time setting up, so much time droning, so much time making the perfect push that they never really started the push in the first place. Now they've opened everything up, but Wolves has not fallen back. They've really let their confidence lead them. They're still playing the positions that DPlus opened up the walls and put all their resources. They know nobody's there, but the site is also empty on the other side.
Finally see the Gara hook from Coded. He flies into karaoke. How will Wolves react? One player close on Geisha. That's an easy pre-fire for Coded to make work, but Wolves are able to trade it out as they are still holding those positions that they've been in for the entirety of the preceding 2 minutes and 15 seconds. 4v3 established, 4v2 effectively. Well, not so. Spoke too quickly as Woogieman finds one. It's instead traded down to an equal man count. Woogieman, who's playing patiently for so much in this round, Sam, is just starting to work his way up, and now DPlus Kia have control of the diffuser.
Yeah, and that info game working out. You saw the ping come out. They know the case is over here inside of Geisha. With 20 seconds remaining, Woogieman and Soldier must pick up the pieces to this round and try and find an answer for their very first offense. Woogieman's going to move in right off of Geisha. He's got T control, but does he know that Bibu's right around the corner? Line in anticipation. Deadshot will get the first one. It'll get Soldier off the case. He has to try and propel himself forward and find these kills, but the patience out of Wolves, the patience out of Bibu is rewarded, and they will find their very first defense.
Wolves knew exactly what they were doing there. They obviously knew nobody was on red, but they were holding the control to make sure that they held that side of the map. I don't think they anticipated the Amaru, but they knew a push was coming through Geisha. If you hold top red side, you can actually maintain green and drum control and hold Geisha from drum, which is stopping that side of things. But the Amaru, I think, was the surprising factor going in through that window, getting the first pick, but traded shortly after. And when you have the Solus, you don't have to worry about not knowing where the plant's coming from or playing inside of Karaoke itself, because the Solus will always be able to give you info, and that site is so difficult to plant in. Especially with that Solus, it gives you the info. You can shoot through all of those walls. And as you can see, they didn't even have any rotate until after. The player who was playing top black ended up making their own rotate later in the round. So they obviously anticipated that Karaoke was going to be the site that they wanted to attempt to attack.
Yeah, I mean, they had a setup that was really hard holding T, but if they decided to play in Karaoke, it was so easy to react to that position. It was built into the possibility that, all right, we're going to really watch this side, but if they push here, we have this, this, and this. That should make it a lot easier. Good start from Wolves, and if we see another strong defense on Exhibition and Office, DPlus Kia really need to start worrying. They were able to catch Wolves off guard, and honestly, that's a good sign for these future attacking rounds. But if Wolves start to get comfortable, start to anticipate these plays from DPlus Kia, it's going to be a big problem. And there's no Amaru right now for the attack. This is a much more utility-focused lineup. So how are DPlus Kia going to surprise Wolves again?
Much more mainline siege on this one. The Sledge will be here to handle the castle barricades. Deadshot could try and go for some antics here, but I highly doubt we see anything too aggressive just yet. We're going to see what the initial volley is going to be from DPlus Kia. And DPlus, a lot more mainline setup like you were talking about. They're also going to work the Maverick in here, which is fantastic for some of these key positions where you could see somebody like Bibu try and hold up a couple of these walls.
I love the intuition play to bring Maverick just in case a Bandit or a Mute was to come in. You don't have to run the EMP gadgets that allows Gridlock to be able to bring the newly added nades in this last season. Harper's going to get an aggressive pick on 1, on 2.
Oh.
The flank came in, but the flank got shortly shut down.
I will say, it's only 4-3, but throughout this tournament, sometimes when Wolves have thrown leads, it starts with Deadshot and Mowgli getting aggressive, trying to make a play, and then end up punished for it. Certainly what happened in the Bliss game, and here it's caused a 5v3 going against Wolves.
It looked like Wolves started that retake a little too early. The castle on the drum doorway wasn't even cleared, and it looked like if they timed it perfectly with that castle being cleared, then Bibu and Shinka would have been able to impact the flank and play. Oh my gosh. Bibu just slipping off the roof, falling straight into Woogieman downstairs.
I mean, this is such a difficult round at this point for Wolves. 5v2 established for DPlus Kia. Shinka really stuck inside a shrine. Thankfully, he's close to the bomb side at least, but that roam just not paying off for Wolves. Punished for it even further with Bibu cut off in the rotation. Way back into this round seems very dark.
Much better idea about how to handle things over on this T side. And as you guys were saying, Wolves doing their damnedest to try and reinsert themselves onto that portion of the map, but DPlus Kia have everything implemented to make sure those rotations aren't successful. And instead, Wolves give over the goods. All of the bodies now on the floor, but I mean, we're not out of this just yet, guys. It's a 2 versus 5, but this timer is eating at DPlus Kia.
Shinka will creep up, try to punish them for this low time. It's a 1v1 he can win to make it a 2v4. That's still the odds they're fighting against. He needs to win this fight with Yas. It's got to happen here. Sees him first, but only for just a second. Yas only trying to gain intel, distract Shinka away from the rest of the site, as so much of DPlus Kia is pushing house side. Where is this push? Woogieman finally moves on in. P4 spots one, but there's the trade from Coded. It is very late. It is very, very late. But DPlus Kia still hit their mark.
This map so decisively, there's going to be rounds like that. We've been seeing Wolves take a lot of risks in this map. Obviously, the confidence is leading that.
That's what Lylun was trying to do right there. I mean, just rebuild that confidence. Obviously, spend the first, 2/3 sort of going over I mean, I don't speak French, but I assume going over tactics, talking about strategy, the problems they had. But the final third was dedicated entirely to bringing that energy level back up. I mean, Wolves won one round in Chalet. Literally one round, and Bibu was losing his mind. And then since then, it's been a little quieter, obviously because they've lost certainly far more rounds than they did on Chalet. But certainly, I think that initial burst of momentum they achieved at the opening of Chalet, and even at the end when they won that map 7-1, it sort of tapered off, and now they want to try to regain that, of course, that energy, that confidence, but not have it at the cost of, say, composed play.
Wolves going to be defending the kitchen bomb site. I don't believe we saw DPlus go to that bomb site.
We did not.
They prompted for the more uncommon one, but the operator lineup that they're bringing with the Ram, that's very interesting. That Ram is just going to be destroying maybe a little barbed wire.
Not the LMG.
The prime spot on this site to hold is up top. Oh, Soldier aggressive pick on the P4. That's the Solus down. That's going to lead into the point that I was going to make, that they have all this information to play from up top, because you can stop every plant in the site with the Solus, with the Valk, from vertical angles. You want to hold up top. The Ram looks a little questionable to me because you never really get into a position where you can use that Ram. And as I say that, he just throws it smack dab in the middle, but it will be taken down. But it did do a little bit of destruction.
Be able to at least open up some angles here, but as you said, you still have to have the body there in the first place to be able to work said angles, and Woogieman is going to have to try and deal with some pretty hot threats in the area.
So far, those holes are only going to be used for the defenders. You have to actively get into top floor, and Wolves knows that. That's why they're holding it so strong. They have their Fenrir in sight, because if he goes down, he still has his gadgets all over the site. He is the least valuable player. Well, not least valuable player, least valuable operator to go down first. Wolves want DPlus to take the site so that they can play top down.
Well, they have it for the moment. Bibu not pressured whatsoever. DPlus Kia playing so slowly. They have nice drones, some inside of the site, some inside of Karaoke. This patience game, well, if Mowgli takes that gunfight, DPlus Kia will be fine to take it. Their patience will be rewarded. They have the 5v4. They have the advantage they need, encoded in what is often the game-breaking position on this site inside of delivery, trying to hit that lurk. Finally, DPlus Kia start pushing in. The C4 lands. That's a 4v4. They shut down the delivery flank too. Bibu in this corner the entire game. Cuts down Harper the moment he walks through the double. And almost poetically, stuck on the rappel, Woogieman sails into a failed attack. It's not explosive, but Wolves stand their ground, and the confidence is absolutely back.
Bibu is saying beautiful, guys, for those at home who don't speak French.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. But that round, building up exactly how you said it was going to, Fox. They try and address that top floor, try and use those boogie drones, but they're really just giving over new angles to the defense. And I mean, it finally dawns on them, hey, we have to take control of this top floor, but they don't really have the means necessary. And not only that, but Wolves have so many bodies, they can even reinsert themselves on that top floor to guarantee that that control does not go over to the offense.
Absolutely. We saw the amazing information that DPlus had all over the site. Those drones were disgusting. They saw almost everything that you needed. But what DPlus decided to do, instead of focusing all of their operators, all of their utility on taking one side or one floor, they all prompted to take their own 1v1s. We saw Ace walking into Geisha to take the 1v1 on the top player. We saw a player push through service. We saw a player push through site. Everyone took their own 1v1.
Yeah.
And none of them worked.
Oh, guys. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
No, it's okay. We were kind of just doing our own thing over here, but it's fine. I guess you can butt in.
Okay, but like it's kind of important because Woogieman's pulling the blitz back out again, and I wasn't a big fan of what happened last time.
Yeah, but I mean, DPlus Kia have done some, you know, oddities inside of this map, and it's worked for them. So let's not cross that bridge just yet. Let's just hope that he's the first one in the building this time.
That'd be an improvement.
You do usually see the Monty playing around Black Door, but the blitz would have to be for their entry. I assume he's going to jump in through Sword Window and be the first point of contact. But there's a lot of Wolves members behind Deadshot, able to come in swift assistance if needed. The information on this player is there. Will the blitz commit? He is the one droning for himself. So now that the information's gone, nobody's gathering info for his push.
Oh, the cut.
Oh.
Mowgli. I think he knows he's here too. Let's see the mechanics, baby. Back and forth we go. He won't land his shot. Cut down to about half HP here, but Mowgli's been so damn good throughout this game so far. The Legion Mine gonna go on Woogie's foot. He can't sprint anymore. And this is one of the biggest risks with Blitz. That shield doesn't cover you fully. He's taking a lot of damage, and he's dead to Mowgli. Soldier will at least be able to take down Deadshot, but it's a 4 versus 4 now.
And Wolves are fighting for every inch of this exhibition in the office position. Bibu even rotating down below to give any intel, but just to provide another angle, provide some support for the players playing inside a house. Mowgli trying to get aggressive. Don't overheat. He impacts Soldier. He decapitates. Yes! P4 follows up to get in on the action. Wolves all rotate to office, and they send it to match point.
Wait, I think I got it. Let's go, guys. Beautiful round. I think that's what he said.
Wait.
He's pretty much just saying, beautiful, guys. Pretty much.
Well, it has been beautiful, especially that round there. DPlus try and be explosive on the top floor, but they have the right things in the right places for the Wolves' sake to slow things up practically immediately.
I do like the surprises that DPlus is bringing. We've seen the Amaru, we saw the Blitz. In theory, the idea on paper could work out, but Wolves was set up in such a fashion where Deadshot would be the first player that Wolves would have to contact. And he is also in the hardest part of the house side to get to, because all you need is the two-prong behind him with a player Lotus Bar and a player on Shrine. They push in, they protect Deadshot from top red, from Lotus Bar. It's very difficult to get to him. Those Legion traps completely stop Blitz from pushing, and he got shot down.
10 seconds left.
I mean, for Wolves, now reaching match point. They won Chalet so dominantly. Skyscraper a bit more of a fight, but on 6-4, the most important thing they've done at this point is regain that momentum. Huge performance from Mowgli yesterday. Before that, having a rough tournament. Huge performance from Mowgli right now, 17-7. Even Bibu recovering a little bit in map 1, but getting your star player back performing with these numbers is so important. But for DPlus Kia, they're trying to rely on an old favorite that we saw earlier on Skyscraper to use that Amaru, surprise the site players from Wolves, but it's a different bomb site this time.
Wolves' game plan, stalling out information, forcing DPlus to get inside the map. Nice little exchange, little bit of shots back and forth. No one's gonna lose their life for that, though. It's like a good little skirmish. Woogie Man looking to jump straight into the building over by bottom black stairs. He's gonna walk in.
And walk up.
His LMG in hands. Key weapon, especially with that 1.5. Seen many a man get quite dirty with that thing. It's gonna be Mowgli that actually strikes first, and you said it was a life game yesterday for Mowgli, but my God, 18-7-6, practically the Grim Reaper, and maybe sending DPlus Kia home.
Woogie Man facing some shots through the wall of Karaoke and Team. Even the basics of Exhibition and Office are currently escaping DPlus Kia, trying to open up this wall, but Mowgli just barely naded.
It's not that really, it's all in the timing on that one, Carter. Look at that right there, isn't that beautiful? He might lose a little life, Fox, but he gets it muted.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they banned the Cade for a reason. They expected to do this. They expected to bring the Mute, the Bandit, to deny those walls. We saw Wolves aggressively get those walls open.
Did. Boogeyman still not yet found a way to open up this round. Knows someone's in the corner, but they just C4 the opposite side of the wall. P4 has got the trap mine waiting inside of the delivery hallway, and Wolves are just slowly cutting down DPlus Kia one man at a time.
He did that blind. I like the effort from Harper to try and, I guess, be in the area, but the trades aren't there efficiently. P4,
It's
so strong.
One
more? Give it to him.
I mean, listen, Mowgli's 18-7. Should we give him the 19, or do you think P4 deserves his 11th kill? You think Yas can do it? What the hell is P4?